Hello and welcome to Melomaniax, the podcast where we take unbiased deep dives into the biggest musicians and artists of all time. I'm one of your hosts, Ashton.
And I'm Dallas. Please, before we get started today with the final part of Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time, please go ahead and like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and wherever you're listening to this podcast, drop us a 5-star rating and review. It helps us out a lot. We also have launched our Patreon, so check that out. It's a one single $5 a month tier. Get a lot of cool perks for that. So I think it's time that we pick up where we left off at number 100. We're going to go 100 all the way to number 1 today.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what it is. And this is the band Music from Big Pink, 1968.
Kicking it off. I'm starting to get more into the band here recently. Just recently discovered them, and then I believe that's the backing band of Bob Dylan on and off, I believe. From what I picked up.
You're in a band? No, we're in the
band. so good. Can't believe we nailed that one down.
Funny.
You mean the band wasn't taken already?
It helps to be the first band ever, huh?
What is their cover band? The group?
No, the tribute band.
The tribute band. That's right. That's what you said. The band and then the tribute band. Oh, that's so
tribute
good.
Band. Yeah, it's so perfect.
All right. Moving along to number 99. We got Taylor Swift's Red 2012 on the release. This was definitely one of my favorite albums of hers, so it makes sense to me seeing it here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really like this album. I like that Babus font on the cover.
Yeah, that is really good. All right.
Number 98, Lucinda Williams, Car Wheels on a Gravel Road, 1998. I don't know.
How do you feel about the title just being slightly angled? Just a little bit.
Yeah, that is. Once you notice it, that's kind of annoying. Huh?
Yeah. it's like just at like a 12 degree, like even slighter, maybe like a 10 degree angle for some reason. And it's just
all
like
the letters are kind of off from each other too. So I guess that's kind of part of it, but it's kind of a quirky, I would assume.
I'm guessing it has something to do with it's because of the car wheels on a gravel road. Maybe it's some kind of bumpy type of
sounds very country.
Yeah, for sure. Moving along though, number 97. Here's a famous one. Metallica's Master of Puppets, 1986. Is definitely a big one. I can't remember which ones we've gone over thus far. I feel like
I don't know what we've seen Metallica-wise so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I feel like we still have... I feel like Black Album we have seen or we haven't. We'll see. We'll see what else pops up.
Yep. 96, REM, Automatic for the People. This was the one I was saying we would see later on, 1992.
The big one you were talking about? I think
this is probably their biggest one, but I'm not super up on their career, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay, Everybody Hurts. I know that one. Find the River. I don't know if I'm familiar with. I'll have to dive into that one. All right.
Sounds like John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin did some string arrangements on some of the songs. That's kind of cool.
Ooh. This one was 92. Okay. Yeah, because it lists here some grunge style.
Yep.
All right. Number 95, Drake, Take Care, 2011. I know he was... I never got into Drake, but I know he was huge during that time.
Yeah, same.
But I've never really caught on. What were we listening to in 2011? This was right before freshman year of high school. So Red Hot Chili Peppers, Skrillex. God, what else during this time? I feel like there was another band, like another.
It was just big, or
that we were listening to, that we were into. I feel like there was one other one.
We started listening to Glenn Hughes.
That's true. That started, Glenn Hughes started being a big one.
Because Glenn Hughes and Chili Peppers at the same time, and then we found out that most of the Chili Peppers are Glenn Hughes' backing band on his solo album. Yeah. And we were like, wait, what?
That's right.
It's just pure coincidence that we ended up into both of those at the same time.
Yeah, we were into that. But that was a good funk period for us.
Right, yeah. Number 94, The Stooges, Funhouse, 1970. This, of course, being Iggy Pop's band.
That's a really cool album artwork.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to look at a little bit, but at the same time, I kind of like it.
Yep.
Not bad. Number 93, we have Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, Super Duper Fly, 1997. So was this? I wonder, did she go by this before just shortening it down to Missy Elliott?
I don't know. Misdemeanor Elliott is hilarious, though.
Yeah, no, the full thing is hilarious. Maybe it's just part of this.
Sounds
one
like something
album.
it sounds like something that someone who hated her would call her. Like,
yeah,
Missy Elliott, more like Misdemeanor Elliott.
True.
It's like, yeah, but she called herself that. Yeah. So I don't know.
Got him. Oh, all right.
Or like Misdemeanor Felony.
Misdemeanor Felliot. Oh, well, I don't know any Missy Elliott songs at the top of my head.
I don't know
but
any.
I know,
Oh, well, I probably know a couple, but I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she had misdemeanors or what. Like,
yeah. I don't know the background behind that.
For those just listening, we didn't make that up. That's literally the name of the artist on the album, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
Yeah.
Says it on the cover and everything. Cool cover though. The typography of that is fun.
Yeah, I've never seen that like wait, the S on the Supa is like almost like a custom font, and then the rest kind of gives me that Godfather font.
Yeah, a little bit for sure.
All right. 92, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Axis, Bold as Love, 1967. Figured Jimmy would show up.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of his big ones, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. Little Wing. I assume Bold as Love was on here.
Yep, I think so. See, I'm not as familiar with what's on what album of his, because when I got into him and I had, learned a bunch of his songs, it was because someone gifted me like his greatest hits or something like that. So
yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I know all the songs, but I don't know where they fit in his discography. Although I know his discography is somewhat limited. Number 91, Bruce Springsteen, Darkness on the Edge of Town, 1978. What were you going to say about Jimmy? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just pulled it up because I was curious. Yeah, he's got only 3 albums on his. He didn't live very long for sure. Nope. All right.
He died in 1970.
Yeah, it was 2-year career, I believe. 2 or 3.
Crazy.
Anyways, yeah. So Darkness on the Edge of Town. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, he'll definitely still have some. I feel like Born in the USA already showed up.
One of his did. I think it was that one. Born to Run, I think, is to come.
Might rank higher. Okay.
I would assume so.
Number 90, Neil Young, After the Gold Rush, 1970. I know we've been talking about Neil Young. We don't know a whole lot. I do know that he's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 times. Or is it 4?
Okay.
3. He has the most entries, and it's because he has like an individual, and then each band he was in like through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, like every band he was in all got inducted, and so he gets an induction each time they get inducted, which I didn't know. Yeah, and so he has like 3 or 4, which is the most. I think he has 3, and Bruce Springsteen is at like 2 because of
crazy.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
89, Erykah Badu, Baduism.
Interesting.
That's 1997.
Yeah,
we've seen her name on all of these Rolling Stone lists multiple times, and I've never heard of her even. So
yeah, all I know is, like I said, is her and Andre 3000 dated for a little bit. That's it. That's all I know, because her name came up there, but I'm not very familiar with her music either. All right. 88, David Bowie, Hunky Dory, 1971. What is on this album? I don't know a whole bunch of I don't know this album very well, but
You Pretty Things, Quicksand, Changes, okay. Life on Mars.
Okay, maybe I do know this one then. I know some of the
87,
songs. But
Miles Davis, Bitches Brew, 1970. Hey. I'm pretty sure this is the one everyone loves by him. Although, I think he had a lot of stuff everybody loved, but I think this is kind of the one. No, judging that only by the fact that I know Miles Davis's name, don't know his music, super in depth, but I've heard this title said a bunch. So yeah, I assume this is the one.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar either.
heard a lot of Miles Davis, but when it comes to jazz, if you're asking me to like say like, oh, the name of this song, dude, I don't know.
we haven't dove that far into jazz yet.
I love listening to it, but
I love listening to it also. It's just, yeah, it is such a good background type of music, and I don't mean that in any kind of offensive way. It's just that's how a lot of instrumentals are, and then jazz specifically is just like so in the back, great background music. But anyways, moving along. Number 86, The Doors with their album The Doors in 1967. So this is a big one. You're not a big Doors fan, are you?
I've yet to hear something that really captures me. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think, like, I like them, but thinking about what you look for in music, I'm not sure if they strike that chord. Especially, I feel like they're another band that's just like kind of around a front man that like looks good, you know, like an attractive like front man that doesn't necessarily have like the greatest vocal talent. Not that he was a bad singer, but you know, I don't know.
Definitely interesting.
85.
John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band, 1970.
Ugh. Oh, did I do that out loud? My bad.
Yep.
Oops. Yep. We're just going to skip over the John Lennon, Yoko Ono phase. No offense. They're just not really offering a whole bunch for our ears. Oh, here's a famous one. Number 84, AC/DC Back in Black, 1980.
Yeah. I thought this would have been higher, but then I was thinking probably more along the lines of album sales at that point. It's not necessarily great or not, but yeah, it's pretty wild that they could have been a big successful band. Singer dies, they get a new singer, and then somehow get even more successful. That's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty, say, unheard of, but they did it. So, and then I'd say Journey's had some success hopping singers. Not nearly as much as
no,
Steve
they've
Perry,
managed to like keep it going, but they've lost, like, they haven't written anything that changed the world like Steve Perry did, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, they can keep going. They can keep playing.
Keep performing.
They're basically a tribute band.
Yeah.
Yeah, to themselves at this point. But yeah.
That's fine.
And that's fine. Like, you got boat payments. I get it. But that's it's the creativity that these bands put out that is the thing that's hard to capture. Like, anyone can go out and be an AC/DC tribute band. Not anyone can be AC/DC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I could teach you the 3 chords they play in an afternoon, and you could play most AC/DC songs. Like, that's not hard. But we didn't come up with it, so we don't get the credit for it, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense.
83, Dusty Springfield, Dusty in Memphis, 1969.
Why do I know the title? I'm not sure if I'm actually familiar with the music.
Me either.
Yeah, because this sounds very familiar, but if it's out of Memphis, I assume it's some country music, right? The album art looks pretty country, but
yeah, Memphis a lot of country. Memphis had its own sound for sure. It wasn't like Nashville.
I gotcha. I don't know,
but it is a very big music town. You know, Elvis, I think, is famous.
That's right. Yeah, he's out
I don't
there.
know. I don't think he's from there, but he settled there, I think.
Yeah, that's where Graceland is. It's like right outside of Memphis. All right, number 82, Sly and the Family Stone. There's a riot going on, 1971. I don't think I know Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, I know some stuff, but
oh, do you?
I'm not familiar with, like, you know, specific albums and things like that.
I gotcha.
Number 81, Beyonce, Self-Titled, 2013.
Nice.
It's interesting. It always is interesting to me when, this says it's her 5th solo album. It's interesting to me when the self-titled album comes later in the career. It's kind of like it should have probably been the first one, or
begs to be a debut. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems like you can feel the artist desperately being like, this is the one. I'm redefining myself. And she literally says, I didn't want to release my music the way I've done it. It's just like you could get all that from just the fact that it's self-titled.
Yeah, that is true.
It's definitely like a move. It's one that always has kind of been like, I don't know about that to me, but do whatever you want.
It's come up a few times in our episodes. actually.
Like Dream Theater's self-titled was like their 8th album or something crazy. It's like, dude, you guys kind of missed the boat on this. Like,
maybe they're saving it for like when you run out of titles. They're like, all right, well, we could always self-title. Like, oh, you're right. We have no other ideas that are striking right now, so we'll just self-title this one. So that way you can always keep.
I'd name it after a song, then I'd self-title it
before you self-title it. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, number 80, the Sex Pistols. Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols, 1977.
Cool.
Never really listened to them, but I know they're. I can imagine if without listening to them and I had to do their ratings, I'm guessing they're getting a bunch of 1s and 2s and maybe a 3 in the cultural impact. And specifically for the impact on other musicians, I'm pretty sure the Sex Pistols exist just for other musicians to wear their shirts on stage.
Right? Yeah.
That's the only place. Dude.
Ton of people are all about the Sex Pistols, but yeah, that punk bug never really hit me.
Yeah, people love to wear punk bands like on stage. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a great,
all kinds of stuff.
It's a great aesthetic, I guess.
79, Frank Ocean, Blonde, 2016.
Ooh, more recent album.
Let's take a minute to appreciate the fact that the label's called Boys Don't Cry, and on the album cover, he clearly looks like he's crying.
True. God. Well, maybe. What's with that? Does he keep the green hair?
I like the barcode on the front. That's funny.
The barcode, yeah.
What if it actually away on the back? Too?
Yep.
No, I'm sure that's the actual barcode, but usually they tuck them away on the back.
All right. Number 78, Elvis Presley, The Sun Sessions, 1976. So this has to be a more of a greatest hits sounding thing.
Seems like it's like they went in the studio and did just like a session.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, well. Ooh.
77, The Who, Who's Next, 1971. That's cool album art.
Yep, this is...
You can't go wrong with album art that's just a picture of the band in a cool spot with like some minimal or maybe no text.
This album artwork is so U2.
Yeah, that's very true.
U2 is very similar with this formatting, and it's effective.
Hey, but this album has Won't Get Fooled Again, Bargain, and Baba O'Reilly, and among other stuff. So
yeah, this is the Who album I'm most familiar with growing up. I remember having limited music on my MP3 player. A couple songs from this album were on it, and it was the ones you said, Baba O'Reilly and like Won't Get Fooled Again. And so the album artwork, always I have associations with it. A lot of nostalgia now.
The only thing I think sucks about the album artwork is they put the title so tiny with that blue. If they just made that black, it would have been better, I think. But that blue is weird. It doesn't fit with the rest of the image.
I think it could have looked good a little bit bigger and bolder and at the bottom as well. I feel like true. And just leave the sky alone. But
didn't slow them down.
Hey man, it was 1971. They were doing well for album artwork for that year. All right,
up.
Number 76. Curtis Mayfield, Superfly, 1972. Wow, that is the
that is
typical
some album art there.
Yeah, the album artwork. They're just the.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a movie poster. Is this for a movie?
I wonder if it is.
Yeah, this is a film soundtrack album.
Okay, it looks like like a James Bond type character on the front.
So if Superfly's a movie, I haven't seen it.
Me neither.
To be fair, I haven't seen any movie that people are like, what? You should have seen. You've never seen it.
True.
Sorry.
Yep.
75, Aretha Franklin, Lady Soul, 1968.
I haven't dove into Aretha yet. I got a book. I've got some music lined up. She's definitely on our list of episodes
Chain of Fools, it looks like.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Looks like.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting one to get into.
Yeah, just one of the most people agree best female vocalists, if not best vocalists of all time.
Right.
And she had the number one song, didn't she, on the 500 Greatest Songs?
She did. Respect.
There you go. Respect.
Yep.
Really, really good song.
Yeah, it is. Number 74, Kanye West, The College Dropout, 2004. Okay, so this would have been earlier. 2003, produced some. Okay, yeah, is this his debut? I think this is his debut. I don't really know Kanye West a whole lot.
Seems like it, yeah.
But it sounds like it was. Okay.
73, My Bloody Valentine, Loveless, 1991.
Never got into them.
I don't even know that I've heard of them.
My Bloody Valentine, I think.
So this one, This album supposedly cost about $500,000 to make and nearly bankrupted their label.
Lovely. Oh. Sure, the label loved that. Loved it to death. Ooh.
So $500,000 to make it, and the tag here says, "Forget the lyrics, which are buried in the mix and incomprehensible." And
oh
so
no,
you couldn't pay an engineer, I don't know, $20 more to just turn them up a bit. That's crazy.
Damn.
Anyway, here he is again.
Number 72, Neil Young, Harvest, 1972. I have seen this album artwork somewhere. Maybe just at an album store, but
it's like they just know he annoys me.
Right? Like, let's have
fuck
to keep
you, Dallas. He's numbers 1 through 50. Get ready.
Yep.
I know this is the greatest albums, but here's all of his songs one by one.
Right.
Some singer-songwriter stuff on here too, it looks like. Number 71, another Beyonce with Renaissance 2022. That seems weird. It seems like you shouldn't be able to put a greatest of all time album that came out in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but I guess
that is a bold move.
Is that her? You said it's her greatest hits album, basically.
This one? Or I don't think so. I think it's just an album she put out.
Oh, it's just an album. I got you.
Yeah. I wanted to actually. This is funny. I sent this to you.
Oh,
on
I see what you mean. Like it's on
it.
the top list and it came out 2 years ago. Yeah,
that's like me releasing something new and being like, "It's the greatest of all time." It's like, dude, how is it all time? Time hasn't passed. Like,
well,
some time has to pass for it to be greatest of all time.
Maybe it's every year. I don't know how often they update the list, but
even so, I think anything within the last 5 years hasn't literally been enough time to call it all time anything.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is I sent this to our Discord chat. If you're on our Patreon, you saw it. It's since we were doing this, it was this little meme that said the Apple Music list of the 100 greatest album of all time is like, and then it says number 100, The Beatles, Abbey Road, 99, Michael Jackson, Thriller, 25, a shuffled Lizzo playlist, 24, Jeff Foxworthy, You Might Be a Redneck, number 2, episode 227 of the NPR podcast.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Number 1, a pop album that came out 5 days ago. That's so true.
Yeah, it is coming true right now. But anyways, number 70, we've got NWA's Straight Outta Compton, 1988. All right, this belongs on top 100. It was a pretty influential album. Good one.
Yep, number 69, Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, 95. That's her biggest one, I believe. She was on a Nickelodeon TV show. That I did not know.
That's what I was just reading.
This is who you said Robin Sparkles from How I Met Your Mother is based off of. This has You Ought to Know, Ironic, a lot of her big hits. And I've brought it up ad nauseum, but You Ought to Know had Flea on bass and Dave Navarro on guitar and possibly some other songs on that, but I know You Ought to Know for sure. And then we went on to discuss that the producer was complaining that Flea was playing so out of time and blah.
Yeah, that's right.
Stuff.
All right,
so that came out recently. That article of the producer was interviewed, was talking about that. That came out within the past year. I think most people knew it was Flea before that, but I'm going to pull up the credits on that while you move on.
Yeah. Number 68, Kate Bush, Hounds of Love, 1985. Looks like an English pop star. I'm not super familiar. Kate Bush. I don't know. But I'll do the next one. 67, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, which came out in 96. Oh, wow. Is that I wonder if when did Jay-Z hit the scene? I am not very familiar. I thought he really was big in the early 2000s.
Well, so a lot of these guys, I think...
That is debut. Okay, that's Jay-Z debut.
A lot of these guys, a lot of artists in general, not just these guys, but have been around for a while before they do the thing that most people know them for.
True.
Number 66, John Coltrane, A Love Supreme, 1965. This, for me, is the same kind of thing as Miles Davis. Like, I know John Coltrane, I've heard his music, but jazz to me, it's on in the background for me. And I could not tell you, even when the song changes, let alone
right.
The name of the song,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a jazzer. I do like jazz. I appreciate jazz. I'm not a hater, but I'm just not a jazzer. I grew up with jazz in my house just always on as a background thing. So that's kind of how I've always had it.
Number 65, James Brown, Live at the Apollo, 1963.
1963. James Brown gets a lot of credit for being one of the greatest showmen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, again, I don't know that I agree with live albums being on here, but
I know you don't.
It's all good.
But that's all right. You have, unfortunately, no influence on them as of right now. Till we release our 500 greatest albums in a couple years, that'll obviously be way more famous than the Rolling Stone.
100%. Number 64, Outkast, Stank on Ya, 2000.
Hey, we figured we'd see this up here.
Yeah, but this isn't even
higher up than the other.
Yeah, I was going to say, have we seen the other one? Because I was going to say the other one. Okay.
The other one.
I thought the other one's better than this.
And I agree with you. The other one came in from 200 to 100. I can't remember.
This one has Miss Jackson.
Yep.
Which I think stands as their biggest song still.
Yeah, we just we love Roses a little more.
and a lot of the other songs on that too.
Yeah, that other album's really good. Anyways,
by the way, speaking of Outkast, that band Sleep Token I did a cover of Hey Ya.
Really?
And it's like a quiet piano, beautifully sung, kind of thing, and it makes you realize the lyrics are actually atrociously sad. Then I told that to my bass player Rasan, and he said, "Yeah, Andre even came out and said, you guys don't even care what I'm saying, you just want to dance." And he's referencing the fact that Hey Ya's a pretty sad song that nobody gives a hell about. They're just like, give me that beat.
It's like not necessarily a breakup song, but kind of in a way, isn't it?
I think it was like a you need to listen to the Sleep Token version to get the vibe of it, because they actually, I think, captured the vibe of the lyrics a lot more than Outkast did. But Outkast just similar to Pumped Up Kicks, where the lyrics don't match the music.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll dive into that after we're done, because I'm curious really cool about that. Number 63, Steely Dan, another band. God, I gotta listen to him. Aja,
1977. I would probably say Aha.
Aha.
I would guess that. Yeah.
Aha. 1977. Okay.
Seems all right. Number 62, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, 1987. Says the biggest selling debut album of the 80s. That's quite a few qualifiers. In the 80s, debut album. It's very specific. So this is where I disagree. It says hit the metal scene like an asteroid. It didn't, though. So the thing about Appetite for Destruction that nobody remembers is it sat for a full year with no one knowing it. It wasn't until 88. So that it came out in like August-ish of 87. And it was like August, September of 88 where MTV picked up the Sweet Child of Mine video and ran it like 8 times an hour.
Gotcha.
And that's when it exploded. So if you could imagine putting out an album and then sitting for a year, they're still playing shows and stuff, but it did not like dominate. In fact, a lot of people didn't like it. And most people now that were around then won't admit that or don't remember correctly, because they're, I knew him as soon as it came out. It's like, yeah, I doubt it. Like Duff even said to this day he's met thousands of people that claimed to have been at one of their early shows in Seattle. And he was like, dude, there were 4 people there and 3 of them were related to me. So like, I know for a fact you weren't the other one. But it's funny how people do that. They just misremember or just straight up lie to feel or sound cooler,
Yeah. I feel like it's a misremembered thing. I feel like it could turn into, you saw a band that maybe did a Guns N' Roses song, or no, because I guess if it was early enough, there wouldn't be covers. But maybe you saw a band and then like a year, and you were just trashed, and years later you're like, yeah, I was and you're like trying to fill in the blanks, and for some reason you associate Guns N' Roses with that memory, and then for the rest of your life you go on believing you actually saw Guns N' Roses and a little. Well,
sometimes your memory can be like wrong. Like eyewitness testimonies and crimes is like not a very strong thing. You know what I mean? Because like, especially if you're under stress or influence of something, like your memory can just be straight up incorrect a lot of the time. Like I have memories, I can't remember any specific ones at this time, but I know I've had memories in the past where I'm like, yeah, this happened then. And then I'm like, well, wait a second. And then I remember in objective truth, like, okay, something else happened at this time, which means that this other thing could not have happened at that time. You know, like, I distinctly remember this song coming out when I was in college, and then I look up and it didn't come out till I was out of college. Like that, for example, you know, It's like, yeah, well, I'm remembering wrong. There's no way that's true. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that
stuff's pretty fascinating.
God, what did I listen to? God, I listened to a podcast where they just dove into like that topic. There's a word for it, but basically just like the ability to misremember information and like believe it is truth, like basically what you're talking about. But there's a whole word for it, and that whole like way of thinking. It's something to do with Mandela effect as well.
Yeah, the Mandela effect. Yeah, because Mandela effect is when a group of people all remember something wrong.
Yeah, but
a great example of that
similar
is
neural thing.
Well, it got its name because everybody swears Nelson Mandela died in prison, and he didn't. So like, but everybody swears they saw the article. He died in prison, and he just didn't.
Yeah.
So that's where it got its name. But there's a lot of them. Like the Fruit of the Loom, the clothing company. Everybody swears there's a cornucopia in the background, but there's not. It's just the fruit. Like little stuff like that. It's pretty cool. That's actually come up in my life a few times lately, where people have been talking about that. So it's kind of funny that it comes up here too.
Right. Dude, I feel like the universe just knows what things. It's so weird, but I was singing All the Small Things by Blink-182 this morning, and I was like, the lyric commiserating, and I was like, that's a real word, right? Am I remembering that lyric correctly? And I was like, I don't really even know the word commiserating. And so I was like, that's interesting. And literally 5 minutes later, I click on a podcast to listen to one of my sports podcasts. In his intro, he uses the word commiserate, like almost immediately. And it's just so weird that I'm like, why the hell is stuff like associated? Like, it's so weird coincidences that happen. But anyways, we'll get back on the track of music. Number 61, we've got Eric B. and Rakim.
All interesting stuff.
Paid in Full, 1987. Rakim being pretty famous.
Another 87,
rapper.
two back to back. Nice.
Oh, it's right.
Insane that 87 can birth both of those albums.
Right?
It just couldn't be more opposite. Also, just a horrific album cover.
Yeah, not great.
The money background is terrible and tacky. The text is horrific. You can't read any of it. So fire that guy, and or maybe hire a guy if you did it yourself.
Yeah, hire a guy.
Because it seems like you might have done it yourself. Anyway, number 60, Van Morrison, Astral Weeks, 1968. I don't even know Van Morrison that well, and I know of this album, so I would imagine we will not see anything higher from him. Although I couldn't tell you what's on it or anything. So anyway.
Number 59, Stevie Wonder, Talking Book, 1972. This will probably be his highest one, I believe. This has got.
I think so. I think it's songs in the Key of Life is his like massive one. So I bet
that'll be higher up.
If we haven't seen it already, I would say that's higher than this. Although this one does have Superstition and some other stuff on it, which
You Are the Sunshine of My Life.
A lot of people don't realize it's Stevie Wonder playing most of the instruments on this album, and that's him playing the drums at the beginning of Superstition.
Oh, really? I love playing that.
And actually, I had heard he'd overdub the hi-hat, so he did it kind of in two separate takes.
Oh,
that brings us to number 58. Led Zeppelin 4, 1971. This is the one with Stairway to Heaven and Black Dog, and When the Levee Breaks, and Battle of Evermore. Okay, yeah, this is a big one.
That'll be the last Zeppelin album we see, right?
I didn't realize Black Dog was on this one. I thought it was on an earlier one. I did know Stairway to Heaven was on this.
Yeah, this will probably be our last Led Zeppelin entry. We did see Led Zeppelin 1 already and 3. I don't think we saw 2.
And we saw American or Physical Graffiti.
That's right.
Graffiti.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think Led Zeppelin 2 is going to rank higher than 4, but we'll see. We'll move along. That's right. Can't forget about number 57, The Band, and their self-titled The Band. 1969.
Yep.
These guys are just
write a song called
me,
The Band. Let's go.
I know, dude. The band was 4/5 Canadian.
That album cover looks like a bunch of people who crossed the Oregon Trail.
True.
And saw a picture of Freddie Mercury and we're like, I got to try that facial hair.
Let's see.
Number 56, Liz Phair Exile in Guyville, 1993. This would have been cool album art without the text.
Right. I don't know if this one's going to make my birth year list, but we'll see.
No, you got to put them all on the birth year list.
All. Damn, you're right.
As many as you can find. As many as you could find. And then we get to go through and discuss what's what. Although, actually, you know what? No. We'll come out with that'll be after this. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Number 55.
Number 55, Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. Damn. Hitting number 55.
Wasn't this the one I had for number one?
Yes, it is.
Damn it.
Damn.
You know what? I would say this is we're not going to see anything higher from Pink Floyd, are we? This is kind of the one.
Nope. I can't remember if we saw The Wall. Some people like The Wall more.
We saw something. We saw something by Pink Floyd.
Wish You Were Here, I think we saw. We'll see. We'll see.
Is that the album name?
There's an album, Wish You Were Here. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just the song. Okay. All right. Number 54, James Brown, Star Time, 1991. Right. This says it was 71 songs on 4 CDs.
Jesus. So this is just everything he ever did between 1956
and 84. He had 103 singles on the charts.
Jesus. I didn't even realize that he had that much.
That's pretty prolific for sure. Again, though, it seems like this is a greatest hits, and that's
it definitely is.
That's not cool to me.
Not just a greatest hits, a 4-disc greatest hits.
And they even say, even at that length, it's still not comprehensive.
My goodness.
Like they're leaving stuff off at that point.
Wow. All right, number 50.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that is. Number 53, Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, 1968. So this was the third one of the 3. He had 2
and this one was recorded at the record plant in New York, which I think the record plant, I know there's Electric Ladyland Studios in New York. Mm-hmm. I think it's the same studio that they just renamed.
Oh, okay.
That would make sense to me. That's just me guessing, but because I'm pretty sure the record plant changed over to that. But anyway, number 52, David Bowie, Station to Station, 1976. Not a big David Bowie fan. Don't know a lot of his stuff. So,
this one has Golden Years, one of my favorite David Bowie songs. But that's about it from this album. That really
what I've
grabs
heard
my
from
attention.
David Bowie has not really encouraged me to go like deep dive on him personally.
Yeah,
so maybe we'll get to that later.
We'll see. I think the only album you would like is Let's Dance, which is my favorite. And that's just because it's got like a very classic rock sound with some good guitar solos. Like, I don't know. If there was any album, that would be the album that you would like.
Nice.
So we'll get into that. But number 51, Chuck Berry. The Great 28. I like a title that rhymes. That's good. 1982.
This one has, Johnny B. Good on it. 1982.
Does that mean it's the greatest hits? Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like anybody that was famous in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, exactly. This collection calls the best of the magic from 1955 to 65. So another greatest hits. I'm even more annoyed that they're taking up these top slots with greatest hits albums. It's like, dude, that's not fair. Like,
yeah.
I use that same metaphor where it's like you can't just collect up the best players and say you have a team. Like, dude, that's like the Pro Bowl. That's not a team. Like,
true. All right, moving on to the top 50.
Go out, dominate everyone else, and be like, we're so good. Yeah, no shit.
Dude, you're making me think the Eagles' greatest hits album is a top 10 on this list for sure.
Right, I know. We haven't seen a lot of Eagles yet, have we?
No, we saw like one. Some. We saw Hotel California, I believe, showed up like right above number 100.
I bet their first. I bet their first album's on here.
Dude, I swear, if it's like Billie Eilish in the number 1 slot, I'm just gonna tune out. Podcast just ends. No
Don't
warning.
Think it'd be that, but
I know it wouldn't.
But I'm excited. We're in the top 50. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So number 50, kick it off. Jay-Z, The Blueprint, 2001.
Nice. Here we go. 49, Outkast, Aquamini, 1998.
Aquemini.
Oh, what? Aquemini.
Yep. Damn, I can't believe this one made it higher than the other 2. That's crazy. This
That
one,
does seem weird.
this is earlier than the other two, but this was like the first big album they had, if we remember. So I guess I can allow it. Number 48, though, Bob Marley and the Wailers' Exodus, 1977. This is the main album that the movie takes place covering. And
Okay, cool.
so
This is where they're in London.
this album is absolutely killer, top to start to finish. Every song, like, this is one I can just put on repeat. Very
I
good.
cannot imagine recording reggae in London, UK. Just one of the most depressing, rainy places on earth. Like,
Right?
and they move from sunny, beautiful Jamaica to go record sunny, beautiful music while it rains and is cloudy and there's, mud, tracks everywhere. It's just like, all right, man. More power to you, I guess, but that makes no sense to me. Although he did move because he got shot, so that's fair.
True.
But come on, dude. There's so many better places.
I know.
What are you doing?
That's where his
47.
people were.
Ramones, self-titled, 1976. Album art totally holds up because that is a timeless font.
Yeah, that
Timeless font.
they stick with that forever. Goes so well.
But you could put that font on something today and it'd be like, yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
What do we say we're gonna name the Ramones cover band? Will be the 1 2 3 4s.
That's good. Yeah.
Number 46, Paul Simon's Graceland. Fucking love this album. 1986. This is a really, really good one. He actually recorded this in South Africa, which if you listen to it, you'll be able to like really figure out like, dude, why does this sound so African? It's because he's got lots of African drums and stuff and instruments in the back and actually recorded it in Africa. So really, really awesome album.
45, Prince, Sign of the Times, 1987. Another win for 1987. When we do our best decade in music, that's my pick. 1987.
Damn, I don't even know what I'm gonna have to pick, but the 80s are run by the later years for sure.
You're gonna have to find like a banger year in the late 70s or something to compete with 1987.
Right?
Watch you come back with like 2020. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Just wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
Number 44, Nas, Illmatic, 1994. I'm not familiar.
43 is A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory, 1991.
Why do I know?
You could probably compete with 87 if you pick something in the early 90s.
Yeah,
There's
true.
a lot of different style, but a lot of bangers
but
there.
if we're doing decades, I'm trying to think of what within the 80s could even come
within
close
the
to competing.
decades.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what
yeah.
could even come close to 87, and I'm just like,
okay, so here's what we have to do. Here's what we have to do.
Or something.
83 or 84, one of those.
Yeah.
Or 89 has some good stuff. But okay, so here's what we're going to do as a quick sidebar. We're going to do the best of each decade. We'll do 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 1000s, 10s. Oh, I guess we could do 20s if you want, but there's not enough really. And then, so it'll be like a championship bracket.
I see.
So we'll head to head in each of those, and the winner will then head to head all the others to come out with one on top.
That makes sense. I gotcha. I like that.
And we'll dub that the greatest year of music.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
And back to this, number 42, Radiohead with OK Computer, 1997. This is I think this is their like big one. This is the one I know from them, and I don't know them that well.
Yeah, Radiohead's interesting.
You know what's funny? I know a lot of music, but as we do these things, I'm like, dude, I don't know any of these. Like, I don't know shit.
We're really putting into perspective just how much music there is to take in, man. Like,
exactly.
There is endless amounts, and it just further emphasizes why we wanted to do the show, just to get out there and reach the far corners of the music industry. Number 41, the Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed, 1969. Man, they've been on here a lot.
Amazing song.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering, they still might have one or two to go. They've been on here a lot on the list, but is this their biggest hit or biggest album? I don't even think it is.
I think it might be.
It might be though, because I think we already did the one that has Paint It Black, and yeah, this might be actually the final Rolling Stones then. I thought it might have one more, but we'll find out. Number 40, geez, David Bowie's just been showing up everywhere in this top 100. David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, 1972. 72 sounds like a good music year, or one that has a lot of songs.
Seems good, yeah, for sure. 39, Talking Heads, Remain in Light, 1980. That's a creepy album cover, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's like it. That actually is like
Microsoft
Paint
shit.
Yeah, it's like Microsoft Paint colored over some black and white photos.
But it seems like something you find the serial killer's like lair, and he's got like these everywhere.
Or what it looks like they use the fill. You know what I mean? The fill.
Yeah.
Like old school the bad editing. It is creepy though. They got a great effect with that. Number 38, Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde. Sorry. 1966. This is the album artwork I'm most familiar with of Bob Dylan. I feel like, but I still haven't dove into his stuff enough.
Yeah, same. 37, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, 1992. Pretty sure that's his biggest one.
Yeah, that one definitely belongs up here. Number 36, Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, 1979. This one has Rock With You, I believe.
I was going to say, if I'm in the 70s, mistaken. Based off my minimal knowledge, I would probably pick 79. But I don't know. I need to do more research on it. Yeah, Rock With You, Burn This Disco Out. Yep.
I like that song.
35, The Beatles, Rubber Soul, 1965. Okay.
So far, I will say we're seeing a lot of the 60s and 70s and 80s show up in this top 100, so that makes me feel good. 34, Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions, 1973. There it is. All right. Higher Ground.
Yeah, at first glance, I was going to say Enervinges, but then I was like, oh, it's just two words.
But this will probably be his highest.
We still haven't seen Songs in the Key of Life.
Oh, that's right. We haven't. Man, so he's also showing up here.
But this one has Living for the City, which is great. There's an amazing YouTube video where someone mashes Living for the City with Paradise City and somehow makes both songs better.
Really?
It's crazy.
You'll have to post that
Number
in the
33.
Discord.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Those mashups are great. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, not Back in Black, 2006. That is a relatively recent one for such a high number. That's awesome.
It is. She's pretty iconic, and she's got that movie coming out.
That's true.
About her life, which I don't really know a whole lot about her, so I'm excited to see it. Excited to learn a little bit about her. I like her music too. It's definitely not for everyone, but she's got a very unique voice. Leads some unique songs. Number 32, Beyonce, Lemonade, 2016. She's been on here a lot in the top 100.
Yeah, true. 31, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, 1959. I've also heard of this one, Bitches Brew, and this one.
So this sounds like it's actually not a greatest hits album. An actual just album that came out in the 50s. Let's go.
There you go. Love it.
Number
says it's one of the most important, influential, and popular albums in jazz.
Oh.
This was the one I was waiting for, number 30.
Number 30. Okay, number 30, Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced, 1967. Yeah. This is the very
Same
first
year as
one.
the other one.
Yep, this is the first one of the two.
Yeah. This is what Britain sounded like in late 66 and early 67.
Yep, so you had this one, and then the Axis, Bold as Love came out later. Bold as Love, came out later in 67, and then he had the one in 68, and then they had the Greatest Hits album or whatever that came out in 70 or whatever after he died.
That's right. That's right.
The Jimi Hendrix Experience is what, like, I think.
So Purple Haze is on this album, as well as a bunch of others. Wayne Cries Mary, Manic Depression, but Purple Haze, Hendrix insists, has nothing to do with drugs, which a lot of people think. He says, quote, Purple Haze was all about a dream I had where I was walking under the sea.
Huh.
You know what's funny? He's like, it's. I just imagine he's like, dude, it has nothing to do with drugs. It has to do with the dream I had while I was on drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, but it's about drugs though.
It's about drugs, right? Oh, that's good.
It's not about drugs. It's about this time I was in Mongolia and I fought an elephant with a spear, and then he turned into a bowling pin, and I had to bowl. It's like, okay, it's about drugs. Gotcha.
It's about. All right, number 29, The Beatles' White Album, 1968. I don't even, what is on this one?
Love it. Yeah,
all I've learned is I don't know what Beatles songs are on what albums. That's all
I don't either. But you
all
cannot beat that album cover, dude. Come on.
Right?
Just the minimalist, like, it's perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, guest solo from Eric Clapton. Long, 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 Back at the USSR, Martha, My Dear, Dear Prudence, Julia, Sexy Sadie. They've listed every song in here.
Ah.
And this is where they wrote it on their retreat in India.
Oh, that's this
famous,
album.
Famous points in their career. 28, D'Angelo, Voodoo, 2000. That seems really high.
Right?
But who knows?
Yeah. We're just unfamiliar. 27, Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, 1993. Hey, something for my birth year.
There you go. Nice. That's a big win.
Yeah.
I think this is their first album, right? No.
I'm not.
No, it doesn't seem like it is.
It's got to be
the title
earlier.
really seems like it is, but
yeah, it's definitely got to be earlier. But no, that is debut. Yep.
Oh, very cool.
You are correct.
26, Patti Smith, Horses, 1975.
Pretty modern
cool
album
art,
artwork.
timeless.
Yeah, for that year.
I'm not familiar with the artist or the music here.
Me neither, but we give the album artwork a thumbs up. 25, Carole King, Tapestry, 1971.
Carole King's one of the singer-songwriters contemporary of James Taylor. There are a lot of people put him kind of in the same category. It looks like Joni Mitchell as well.
Gotcha.
And actually, both those people are on this album on background vocals, it says.
Oh, that's funny.
Very cool. 24, The Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, 1967. 67 seems like a powerhouse year. Something about the sevens, huh?
Yeah, this is the album artwork that I feel like might be one of the most famous, at least on merchandise. This and maybe Yellow Submarine, but I feel like I see this album artwork on posters, lunchboxes, like shirts. Like this is one of their bigger ones. As for songs that are on it, once again, I just read through the songs. I'm like, do I even know the Beatles truly? Or have I just only ever listened to what is famous? It sounds like it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well.
Number 23.
On. Yeah.
The Velvet Underground. The album is called The Velvet Underground and Nico. 1967. Looks like Andy Warhol did the cover. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why I got the signature there, but singer-songwriter Lou Reed. Oh. I didn't know he was part of the Velvet Underground. All right.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the main guy there.
22, the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die, 1994. This one's got Big Papa and Juicy and Gimme the Loot, Machine Gun Funk. Lots of his big hits. Oh.
Yeah, that's crazy. Number 21, Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, 1975. Another really timeless album cover. Just always looks good there.
Right? That one just... Also, something about a black and white aesthetic, when done right, can really be timeless.
Yep.
Number 20, Radiohead, Kid A, 2000.
Nice. Even higher than OK Computer.
Right?
Number 19, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, 2015.
Oh, man. Great album. I don't know if we've seen Damn yet. Yeah, we did see Damn. So this one ranked higher.
Yeah.
This one's good. It's got a lot of... Bro, this one's got like some like some jazz beats in it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's got like this jazz fusion mixed into the beats and the hip hop, and makes this album very unique, very, very good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Number 18, Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited, 1965. I don't.
Yeah.
No real comments on Bob Dylan.
He's pretty prolific, so of course we're going to see him a lot, just percentage-wise, I think.
Yeah.
17, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, 2010.
Okay. Kanye's been on here a lot on the top 100.
Oh yeah. This was right after the Taylor Swift VMA thing.
Oh, that is right. That's right. That's right after this. Okay. Collaborators: Bon Iver, Nicki Minaj,
Bon Iver, I think is how you say that.
Oh, is it Bon Iver?
Which is very, very weird because it doesn't look like you would say it that way, but that's how I've heard people say it. I'm not familiar with them myself.
Not bad. Number 16, The Clash, London Calling, 1979.
Some punk in the top 20.
Real famous album. I just believe it or not, the song London Calling is not one of my favorite Clash songs. So
I believe it.
This one
Number 15, Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, 1988.
I'm not very familiar with Public Enemy. I know their name. I don't know their music. So, moving along. Number 14, The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street, 1972. What is on this one?
Tumbling Dice, Shine a Light, Rocks Off, All Down the Line.
Why don't I know any of these songs?
Me either.
What is this album?
Aretha Franklin, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, 1967.
Okay, so she's showing up. She's got the number 1 song and then showing up damn near the top 10 on the albums. Putting a strong case for one of the best musicians of all time.
Yep.
For sure. Number 12, this was my entry, I believe. Michael Jackson's Thriller, 1982. Man, I can't believe it didn't break the top 10, dude. I can't believe it didn't break top 10. Oh,
you beat me by about 50, I think.
If this is number 12, I'm just like, what am I going to see above this?
What are the next 11? Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it's the number 1 selling album of all time, but is it the best album of all time? I don't know. Amazing, though. Number 11, The Beatles, Revolver, 1966.
That makes sense. That's a pretty big one as well.
These people just will not get off the Beatles jock.
Yeah, dude. This one definitely had Eleanor Rigby on it, I believe. That's why I know this album artwork. Yep.
At this point, I'm not surprised if the number 1's a Beatles album.
It has Taxman. That's my favorite Beatles song.
Cool.
Nice. All right, number 10, Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, 1998.
There we go.
I don't even know. I figured I would at least know everything in the top 10. I'm wrong. Never heard of
You're still going to be wrong with number 9, Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks, 1975.
Yeah, we just don't know Bob. But I do believe in Bob being in the top 10. That makes sense to me. Number 8. Ooh. Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain, 1984. Happy to see this in the top 10. I can't believe it passed my mind.
Yeah, true.
Because
technically a movie soundtrack.
Yep. Yeah, movie soundtrack, and just really like all the big hits though. He has so many hits on that album.
Yeah, there's only like 8 songs or something.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't watched the movie in a while. I should go and watch it. I love it.
Yeah, same. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, 1977.
How did I not guess this one either?
That's number 7.
Man, that's such a good album, start to finish.
Yeah, that's kind of their calling card, I think, right?
Yep, which is funny because at the time Rumors was made, there were 2 couples and then the guy who made the band. So there were 5 members, I believe. Both, so there were and all of them were going through, like, both of the couples within the band were like in turmoil and like divorcing and breaking up during this album. which resulted in the best album of all time. But because all the content on it is just about like heartache and stuff, so it worked out for him. But then behind the scenes, nothing was working out. Just like album masterpiece, but it took all that pain and turmoil behind the scenes to, make it happen. Just like what is it, Dark Side of the Moon with Pink Floyd. Everyone loves that album, but that was when the band was fighting like the absolute most and had the most like turmoil going on from within. Turns out their best album. But anyways, number 6, Nirvana, Nevermind, 1991. I believe this one belongs up here as well. Definitely a huge album.
Hard to argue with that one. Number 5, The Beatles, Abbey Road, 1969.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
I'm good with the Beatles, though. Like, give some other artists a shot here. Like, I hope there's not Beatles higher than this. Like, they just listed every album they've ever done. Like,
right? All right. Number 4, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Damn, the top 5, bro.
1976.
You called it though. You were like, Songs in the Key of Life still hasn't been named, so
yeah, this one's got a lot of good stuff on it for sure.
Damn,
number 3. We're in the top 3. Joni Mitchell, Blue, 1971.
I gotta dive into some Joni Mitchell, I guess.
She's one of those 60s, early 70s songwriters. She's the one that died in the 27 Club, right? No, Janis Joplin. I always mix them up. You're right. Self-corrected that time though. Joni Mitchell is still alive. And she's in her 80s. And she still looks the exact same. Kind of crazy.
Huh. Number 2, The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, 1966. What the hell is on it here?
Now don't scroll because we're going to reveal at the same time, number 1.
Yeah, I haven't scrolled down yet.
Are you ready?
I'm trying to see what songs are on this album because I don't think any of the Beach Boys' biggest hits are on this album. And that's why I'm like, why is this album up here?
I don't know. Let's scroll.
But let's go.
3, 2, 1. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Number 1.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Marvin Gaye's amazing. I think this is the only Marvin Gaye we've seen. Maybe one other
I think you're right, actually. He may have been like way further back, but this is...
That's hilarious, though, if he's nowhere except the number 1 spot.
I mean, that'd be sweet.
That means he had one amazing album.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
And then every other album didn't even cut the top 500. That's insane. Now, this isn't a greatest hits or something, is it?
I don't know. Good. This is the one that... what is on?
Look at Motown R&B topping both charts. We got Aretha Franklin, Respect, topping the number 1 song of all time. And Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, 1971, topping the number 1 album of all time.
Keeping that soul alive, baby.
There we go. Yeah, Marvin Gaye is amazing. I can't wait to do the episode on him. He has an absolutely tragic story.
Does he? I don't really know a whole lot about him, so that's going to be exciting.
And never really played live. Just a studio guy. Never did tours. Might have done the odd show here and there, but was never like a live guy like that.
Interesting.
Dude, we did it.
We did it.
We
500
completed.
Greatest albums.
It took us 5 hours to get through it.
Right.
We got through the Rolling Stone top 500 greatest albums of all time. Number 1, Marvin Gaye. Wow. Well, to be fair, we wouldn't have seen that coming.
You know what just hit me? The Eagles' greatest hits isn't on the list.
I didn't see any Eagles other than Hotel California.
Yeah, Hotel California showed up, but the greatest hits.
That's surprising. Now, do you think you should consider sales, right? Because if it's the top selling album of all time, that means a whole lot of people really like it. You know? Yeah,
but I guess I don't think they considered sales. Remember, they did. It's just a poll of other artists, and critics. So not necessarily the record buying.
So real quick to that end, I'm going to go through the top selling albums of all time. These are all copies that sold 40 million records or more. And number 1, it's not even close. Michael Jackson, Thriller, estimated 70 to 100 million.
Jeez.
Followed by a tie at 50. And that's AC/DC, Back in Black, and Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard. Beyond that, tied for 45 million, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and Michael Jackson, Bad. With 44 million, Eagles' greatest hits.
Wow,
That's
it's
it,
right there.
coming in. 43 million, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. 42 million, Eagles, Hotel California. 40 million, there's 3. Shania Twain, Come On Over. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, and BG, Saturday Night Fever. I think most of those we saw on this list we just did. We did not see the Eagles' greatest hits. I don't know that we saw Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell. I don't know that we saw the Whitney Houston one, but we saw all the other ones, I think.
I love the cover art for Bat Out of Hell. So good.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
So good.
It looks a lot heavier than that album.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not like the biggest Meatloaf fan, but when you look at the album artwork, you're just like, fuck yeah, kind of energy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, his operatic stuff is a little bit like flamboyant for me, but
yeah, not
a
my
little
style,
bit flamboyant for me.
But I get the appeal, but it's just not for me.
It's definitely got some awesome stuff though. Well, yeah, that'll do it for us today. Wow,
yeah.
500 albums we got through. How you feel?
Pretty good. I'd like to do my own list, but we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I feel like we could do maybe 100.
Maybe 100, yeah. 500's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We could do 100. We'll have to do a Melomaniax 100 greatest albums someday.
That's true. Yeah, we got to get more episodes under our belt, so we have more.
Yeah, we got to learn a little more. Yep.
There you go. We're students of the music.
Always students.
Cool, man. Let's end it there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for sticking with us through 500 albums, 5 parts, the most intense series we've done so far. So I'm excited about that. We got a lot more coming at you, though. So until next time, I'm Dallas.
And I'm Ashton.